The decisions we take today help to bring the future into being. Let's take a moment to imagine Nova Scotia in 2060. What types of lives will residents be experiencing? What will influence their standard of living? What implications will our work today have on their future standard of living? If we want to work towards a good standard of living for all Nova Scotians by 2060, what shared priorities, opportunities, and issues should we address together? Welcome to Horizons 2060, where we facilitate cross-government conversations about the future. Over the past year, a diverse group of public servants across 19 departments and agencies have developed their strategic foresight skills and experience. Strategic foresight doesn't predict the future. It provides a space for us to be better prepared for whatever the future brings. It helps us identify and manage risk. It challenges our assumptions and forces us to think in new ways. Strategic foresight begins by posing a question: how might we? For this iteration of Horizons 2060, we asked ourselves the question: how might we improve Nova Scotians' living standards above the Canadian average by 2060? This broad challenge affects nearly every department and agency right across government. It has been a great question to pose across our system. We began to work together to consider how we might increase our working age population, create the conditions for labour market and workforce participation, increase business success through a focus on productivity, and continue to support the growth of high-value sectors in Nova Scotia. We identified 50 global trends that will impact Nova Scotians over the coming years. The trends show up in all four capitals: social, natural, built, and human. They impact every aspect of government. Over the last few months, we worked together to make sense of these trends, assessing their level of certainty, considering their potential impact. That sense-making work has enabled us to develop 4 plausible scenarios of Nova Scotia in 2060. Today, we'll take time to think about these scenarios. We will work together to surface the implications we need to consider when we're planning policies and programs to improve the living standards of Nova Scotians. Let's take a quick look. Canada's Silicon East Coast. Ongoing climate change has not affected Nova Scotia significantly and has supported the development of a successful digital economy hub. Halifax is a high-density and diverse city with a young population. It hosts a significant tech cluster focused on AI, biotech, and clean tech. Rural Nova Scotia is growing its brand in experiential tourism and innovative food and beverages. Services are centralized in HRM, which causes many Nova Scotians to believe they are underserved or excluded from opportunities for economic growth and prosperity. Anchored to tradition, Nova Scotia has avoided devastating impacts from climate change, but has experienced damage to coastal areas, including housing loss, with impacts on many species. Strict immigration controls introduced because of a global refugee crisis have resulted in an aging, homogeneous population. Limited access to capital, skilled labor, and technology means Nova Scotia struggles to deliver reliable energy and services to residents. Health and education services have been decentralized. First Nations are providing a good standard of living to their communities, as are some municipalities. However, in many regions, population loss combined with limited revenues and an unstable energy grid has reduced living standards. Hyperlocal renaissance. Rural Nova Scotia has a growing and vibrant population, including a large newcomer population. Many residents live in small communities, focused circular economy strategies, and self-sufficient lifestyles. The province welcomes climate refugees and recognizes the importance of integrating Indigenous, Afrocentric, and newcomer ways of knowing and being. Nova Scotia is renowned internationally for its land-based maker culture. However, successes are primarily at hyperlocal level and Nova Scotia is struggling to scale those collaborative approaches to support increased demand for healthcare, education, and other vital services. Fortress Nova Scotia. Significant climate change has destabilized international politics significantly, and there is ongoing cyber warfare between regional blocs. Nova Scotia is working to maintain its leading-edge position as a defense industry center of excellence in a hemisphere rife with geopolitical tensions. The province has adopted a fortress mentality, in part due to its dependence on defense industries for revenues and growth. Immigration is limited to people working in defense sectors. The focus of the defense sector has led to chronic shortages in other sectors of the economy. We cannot predict Nova Scotia in 2060. The future is yet to emerge. What we do know is that public servants have an important role to play in creating and maintaining responsive, resilient, and people-centered programs and services that will create the conditions for success, no matter what the future brings to our province. Strategic foresight is a team activity. Thank you for joining the team.